What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Magic Square Mirror Commander, or their version of a Masterpiece Scale Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. So, thanks to Dr. Diecast for letting me take a look at his copy before I send it off. And we have looked at this figure in different paint schemes before. So today we're not going to be transforming on camera, we're just going to get it transformed. You can take a look at both modes. But we looked at the original MS-02, which was the unpainted version. Then we got the MS-02EX, which is the premium painted version. Then we got the MS-02, I think it was Toy, maybe T for Toy version, which I actually have in my collection. And now we're looking at this guy. So there's been quite a few repaints on this guy. This will be mostly a comparison review, just so we can see some of the changes. But let's bring in MS-02EX, which is the painted, quote, premium version. And we'll take a look, but starting from the top of the head, you can see we've got purple plastic, or it's kind of like a bluish purple for the head. I do prefer the paint. The fact that they painted the head and they painted the body. This one is actually unpainted purple plastic, and then the head is this unpainted bluish plastic. I do think the paint definitely gives it a more premium look. But you do have teal paint here. You have a black outline for the eyes and then metallic red for the eyes. That looks really, really good. That's a very nice looking head sculpt. For the chest, I do wish they had put a sticker or some detail here for the cracked, literal shattered glass. Would have been nice. Teal paint here for the headlights. If you open up the chest, you can see they have changed some things in here as far as colors. They've got green instead of the yellow light there. If you open up the chest compartment, you'll see we've got a green jewel now instead of the blue with the orange outline. And then it's still die cast. It's a little bit difficult to get it out of here. So I'm not going to take it out. There's no need to, but you can see the difference in color. And then the handle is kind of like a gunmetal. Speaking of the gunmetal, that gunmetal color persists here on the ab piece here for the grill. For the gas cans here on the side of the legs. The smokestacks are still the chrome, but they changed those two things, so it's a slightly darker color. So it does go with the theme of this figure. Continuing down, we do have the black stripe here instead of the gray. We have teal paint instead of the yellow here for the crotch. Silver paint throughout the crotch, the thighs, and then the front of the shins, as well as the front of the toe. They did not put the die cast. I know people are going to ask me that, so I might as well answer it. On this one, they put die cast in the feet. It was a small change from the original. They didn't do that on this version. So just know that not all of them are getting the die cast after that version 2.0 came out. But yeah, that's main differences here. Articulation is basically the same. Everything is identical. I will say there was a couple of joints that felt a little wonky, but I tightened a screw and it worked okay. But let's quickly go over the articulation. It is the same, but head is on a double ball peg, so you can get the head side to side. You can also move that ball peg on its own side to side. It's pretty tight, to be honest. Squeaky. The ears can rotate forward and backward. All the movement you want out of this head. Shoulders rotate around on what should be a friction joint, but it's a very soft joint. Out to the side on this joint. You can also lift up the entire shoulder so you get the arm way up. All that works. This joint does seem to be a little bit off. You have a rotation here at the bicep. That's pretty tight. Rotation at the elbow. Double joint elbow, full bend. Rotation at the wrist. Injury articulated fingers. These hands do feel like that cheaper plastic. They work, nothing wrong with them. There's 2 pins and everything works. It's just tight and it feels a little bit cheap in terms of the quality of the plastic. I also wish that this was painted, the purple, but you do have the nice gold paint here for the little arrow symbols. Coming down to the waist, you have a waist rotation. You have that same double jointed ab crunch. You can get way back, way forward, you can go all the way, you can do whatever you want really with that. For the hips, if you move this one out of the way, you can get the leg kick up to there. This joint feels not great, so I'd be careful with that, but it goes up to there. Probably can go a little further, but I'm trying not to push it since it's not my figure. It doesn't sound great going back, and that's what I mean by something doesn't sound right, but it goes back to there. It does work, it just doesn't sound great. Out to the side on friction, it does hold. This is one of the joints that tightened, was out to the side. This one's a little bit on the loose side, you can see, but it's still okay. Really nice looking paint on it. I like the look of the teal on top of the silver, really has a nice contrast. Rotation of the thigh around universal. You have a double jointed knee. It's in the full bend. Nice ratchets there in the knee. We have ankle tilts, forward and backward, toe tilt, heel tilt. We have side to side on a hinge, and then you have a ball joint for the foot and a rotation. So all the articulation works well. I would say just only the thigh really feels a little bit off in terms of its tolerances. The forward and backward is too tight, and then out to the side, at least on this one's a little bit loose. But same articulation. As far as the accessories, they change the color, but it's basically the same. The gun is just a plain black plastic. This could have stand to use a coat of paint on it, but it looks fine. Sculpt is fine. I'll fit in his hand, no problem. And then here's your axe, which they've done now in translucent green. I really like the look of the green. Matches the windows, of course. You can open this up, slide that onto the hand, and then put that on there. And there you go. You get that really nice looking axe. I think that's highlight of this figure is the look of the axe and the chest. I do wish they had that symbol on the chest though. All right, now let's get Mirror Commander transformed into vehicle mode. Since we've done the transformation on this channel before, I'm going to get it transformed off camera and then we'll be right back. All right, and there's Mirror Commander in vehicle mode. And it is a really nice looking shattered glass truck. Let's bring in the toy version of the Magic Square so you can kind of see the differences. They did change all the chrome, including the bumper and the grille and the headlights, to this darker chrome. I like the look of it, but I will say it has a lot of fingerprints on it. I had to really wipe this down quite a bit. I don't know if it's just the color, but it really seems to absorb. And this is before I transformed it, so this had, fingerprints from the factory on it. But once you wipe it down, it does look really good. So starting from the top, you have teal instead of yellow lights, translucent orange instead of the translucent gray. On this one, it's blue on the original. Like I mentioned, all the chrome is now this darker chrome. You have translucent green here for the marker lights. On the side, you can see the wheels were changed to the darker chrome as well. Gas tanks also changed. The silver here is a little bit darker. It's more like a gunmetal instead of a silver. The chrome smokestacks are the same, basically, same color. Coming to the back here, you can see they did paint the rear tail lights here in this teal color. This one didn't have it. I believe the original, let's see, did it have paint on that? I can't actually remember. Yeah, it did. It had painted lights. So that was actually a really good looking rear on the original. So yeah, some nice changes here. I think it does look really good. You just have to wipe it down so that the chrome is clean. But overall, it's a good looking truck mode. It does roll nicely on the rubber tires and die-cast wheels. You can use the mounts here. So this is for the MP44. And you can just attach it like that. Or if you prefer, you can take this one and attach that instead for MP10, depending on which trailer you're trying to pull. That does kind of hold it together, and it actually brings the back together. One of the cleanest back truck modes we've had on a Masterpiece Optimus. So final recommendations on the Magic Square Mirror Commander. This guy's pretty good. He's still the same figure that we've gotten before. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I'm going to recommend it. It's about the same as far as everything you get, same accessories. I think what's missing here, though, what they really should have included is a sticker or a tampo with the shattered glass for the chest. This character kind of needs that, and that's something that I know it's probably extra. It's easy for them to just recolor the plastic and redo the paint colors, but that's kind of essential for this character. Also, I think the purple, this is a preference thing, could have stood to be a painted purple versus just a purple plastic. To me, it looks a little bit plain. I do like the look of the legs, the waist, all of that looks really nice, and I love the translucent green. But the chest and the arms, I think, could have stood to use a little bit of paint. But other than that, fun figure if you're a collector of shattered glass or you just like Optimus Prime. I think this is a really cool one to have for a Masterpiece collection. So that's it for today. Thanks to Dr. Diecast for letting me take a look at his copy. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.